Hello guys, my today's lecture is very important. It is the effect of temperature on the rate of the reaction. We have earlier told you that the rate of the reaction depends on the concentration of the reactants, which was experimentally determined, and we formed a rate law or a rate equation. Now here we are saying you already know that a large number of reactions are slow, but when you heat them the reactions become fast. So temperature has a very strong effect on the reaction rates, and this was studied actually experimentally, and it was observed experimentally that for every 10 degrees centigrade rise in temperature, the rate of the reaction almost doubled. Now what we are saying that the rate, but how do we define rate of a reaction? For example, if I have a reaction A plus gives me C, then we said rate of the reaction can be expressed in a form like this. If it is an elementary reaction, then I can say that the rate can be expressed in this form if it is an elementary reaction. Now if A and B are unity, then the rate becomes equal to K. Therefore, if the rate increases, the K also increases. The rate constant is a measure of the rate of the reaction at concentrations unity. So what they determined experimentally, the rate constants of different reactions at temperatures, at different temperatures, and what was observed experimentally that rate constant of the reaction increased with increase in temperature. And how much? As I said, they observed that for 10 degree rise in temperature, the rate of reaction almost doubled. Rate of reaction almost doubled. This was observed. Or they defined a temperature coefficient. They defined a coefficient which was called as a temperature coefficient. What is a temperature coefficient? Temperature coefficient of reaction. Temperature coefficient of reaction. And that means the rate constant K at temperature T plus 10 degree divided by the rate constant at temperature T. That means this value is 10 degree higher than this. For example, if this is 298 Kelvin, then this becomes 298 plus 10, 308 Kelvin. So the temperature coefficient was determined for the reactions, and what they found that this value lies between 2 to 3. The value of N came to be between 2 and 3. That means the rate was almost doubled, you see, in most of the reactions for every 10 degree rise in temperature. Now the question is why it is happening like this? What is the story? Here, what is the explanation for this, students? Why should the increase in temperature increase the rate of the reaction? The question is how the reaction takes place. We told you that if A and B are reacting, they must collide with each other. A and B molecules must come together, they collide with each other. But we also know all the collisions are not effective. All collisions are not effective. Then, which collisions are effective? There are two things which we said: activation energy. Activation energy is required. I am saying activation energy is required. There is a minimum amount of energy which must be possessed by the reactants in order to form the products. So not only they collide, they should have a minimum amount of energy, which I am saying activation energy. And second important thing is the orientation factor. These two things are there. What is an orientation factor? That means they should not only collide, but they should collide with a proper orientation, then only reaction takes place. For example, if I have a reaction of Hi plus Hi, they collide and they must have activation energy. But what is important if they want to form Hi? You see, this process involves breaking of the bonds. You have Hi, you have here I, H. You see the bonds are breaking and new bonds are forming. Bonds are breaking bonds are breaking, this bond is breaking and new bonds are forming. But you see there is an orientation, this H and I, this I and H, they should collide. But there are random orientations within the reaction because you have very large number of molecules. So proper orientation is required and large number of collisions will be wasted when the orientation is not proper. So these two factors are important whenever a reaction takes place, and this is what we call as a intermediate. That means the reaction proceeds through an intermediate. There is a breaking of the bond, there is a formation of the bond, and after the intermediate is formed, then it can form the products or it can go back to the reactants. What I am trying to show you is like this. I hope you have noted this down, students. What I am saying, if I say that this is my potential energy, this is my energy and this is my reaction coordinate, and here you are having reactants A plus B, supposing these are my reactants. So reactants have got some energy. This is the energy possessed by the reactants before the start of the reaction. They already have some energy. Now what we are saying, that these reactants, they have to have some energy, which I am saying this is my activation energy, E activation. This is the minimum amount of energy which must be possessed by A and B to form the products. If they don't have this energy, they will go back. And here what is happening at this point, that they are forming, what I am saying, an activated complex. Activated complex is formed at this point, at the top of this, and this breaks down to form the products. These are my products, students, here. So what you find is that the products here have lower energy, but the products could have higher energy also. This is my delta H, the enthalpy change for the reaction. So reactants are here, they are forming products. This is a case which is an example of exothermic reaction, where the energy of the products is less than the energy of the reactants. There should be a endothermic reaction which will have a higher value of the energy as compared to the reactants. So there the heat will be absorbed. This is delta H here is negative. That means heat will be evolved during this reaction, which is this difference of these two. And what is this, students? This is this energy, total energy from this point to this point. This is called threshold energy. Threshold energy is nothing but energy of activation plus the energy of the reactants, at the time of start of the reactions. This is usually the, we can say, the kinetic energy of the reactant. So E activation plus E kinetic energy of reactants is my threshold energy. This is called the threshold energy. So we have activation energy is required in order to perform the reaction. Not only activation energy is required, we told you orientation is also an important factor. So the two factors are there. So whenever a reaction is going to take place, the two factors will count, that the collisions should be effective collisions. That's what I am talking about, effective collision. Not only collisions, reaction will only take place when there is a, what is the basic thing? Effective collisions. I am talking of effective collisions. So this is the requirement for the reaction to take place, for any reaction to take place. The requirement is that there should be effective collisions. Effective collisions are saying they should have energy greater than or equal to activation energy. And second, I am saying there should be a proper orientation, and they have to pass through this energy graph or energy curve which I have shown. Here the reactants, the products, and activation energy has to be there, proper orientation has to be there, then only they will form the products. Now the effect of temperature is being studied by the temperature coefficient, which I have just given to you, that with increase in temperature, the rate of the reaction almost doubles. The rate of reaction doubles, you are saying. Now what is the reason? Maxwell and Boltzmann and Boltzmann statistically determined the distribution of energies, the distribution of kinetic energies with the fraction of the molecules. What the fraction of molecules? Fraction of molecules having energy equal to or greater than activation energy was statistically determined by a graph, by a curve which is called Maxwell distribution curve. Let us see what it is. What is Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution curve? Very important. This is the fraction. A graph is made between the fraction of molecules having energy greater than, or this is my kinetic energy of the molecules. When you are having a reaction, there are large number of molecules in the reaction, and the different fraction of molecules have different kinetic energies, and there is a most probable kinetic energy which is possessed. And what the graph looks like, what they found, the graph looks like this. This is a graph at a particular temperature T. They found this was the graph. This is the most probable kinetic energy. Most probable. This is called the most probable kinetic energy. So here the fraction of the molecules is increasing which have kinetic energy. Then it rises to the most probable kinetic energy. Then the fraction of the molecules falls with the kinetic energy. But you know the requirement is the molecule should have energy equal to. This is my activation energy. So at this point you are having energy at activation energy. Only those molecules which have energy greater than or equal to activation energy will react. So at this temperature, this is the fraction of the molecules. We are saying this is the fraction of molecules which have energy greater than or equal to activation energy. This fraction will react to form the products. What happened if the temperature is increased? The graph looks like this. So this is a graph at T plus 10 degree. T plus 10 degree, you see that this is our most probable kinetic energy. This has shifted to this side, and this curve, the maxima has decreased. The number of molecules having most probable kinetic has decreased. But here you see the fraction of molecules. What you are finding, the fraction of molecules having energy greater than or equal to activation energy has increased. See the graph, this area has increased. Therefore, with increase in temperature, the fraction of molecules which have energy equal to or more than activation energy increases. Hence, with increase in temperature, the rate of the reaction increases. This is given by Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Very important students. Now Arrhenius was studying this, and Arrhenius gave an empirical relationship in order to account for the effect of temperature on the rate of the reaction. Experimentally, he found K is equal to AE minus exponential RT. K is the rate constant. A is called the Arrhenius constant or frequency factor, which is also called pre-exponential factor, and R is our gas constant. You know the value of that constant, 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. So students, he found that the rate constant is determined by this factor. So as the temperature will increase, the E minus value will decrease and E plus value will increase. Therefore, the rate constant will increase with increase in temperature by a factor which is E minus EA by RT. So EA is my activation energy and T is the temperature in Kelvin. This equation is very important because what we can do, if I take the ln of K, this becomes ln of A minus EA by RT, or log of 10 to the base K is equal to log of 10 to the base A minus EA by 2.3031 by T. So students, I have converted the natural logs into the logarithm base 10, which calculations are easy. This is the equation of a straight line. Y is equal to mx plus c So if we make a graph of log of 10 k versus 1 by t, students, then what will happen? As you can see, this is the slope, this is negative, so it will be, graph will look like this. What is this value? When time 1 by t is 0, this factor is 0, and this value is nothing but our log of 10a. So we can find the value of a, the frequency factor. A is the frequency factor, the number of collisions taking place per second per unit volume, and that is our this factor. And there, if I have the slope, so the slope of this graph will be giving me the value of minus EA by 2.303. There is a R also. So this is the slope. From the slope, if I calculate the slope, I can calculate the activation energy of the reaction. This can be calculated from this graph method. So very important equation is given by the Arrhenius. And another important thing from this is that if I know the values of K1 is a rate constant at temperature T1 and K2 is the rate constant at temperature T2, students, then we can write ln K2 is equal to ln A minus EA by RT2, and ln K1 is equal to ln A minus EA by RT1. So if I subtract the two, ln K2 minus ln K1, then this will get cancelled off, students, and what you are getting is minus EA RT2 minus EA RT1. So that means what it looks like, minus EA by R is common. So what is that? Minus I am taking common. This is minus plus. So what is this? 1 by this minus is common, 1 by T2, and minus what will be that? 1 by T1. So we can get a formula derived from this. What we are getting is a very expression EA by 2.303, 1 by T. This is minus plus, so 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2, or this if I take plus. So this is the result of this EA by 2.3. What is this? ln K2 by K1. So ln K2 by K1 is EA by R, 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So if I take 2.303, log of K2 by K1 will be equal to EA by R T2 minus T1 divided by T1 into T2. So this becomes a formula which can be used to calculate the activation energy, or we can calculate the value of K2 if activation energy is given and temperatures are given and the value of the rate constant is given at a particular instant of time. Therefore, students, this formula is important and will be used for solving the numericals, which I will be taking 1 or 2 numericals also in this case. So here we have got a formula which can be used for finding two things. One, we can find activation energy by this formula, and second, we can find K2 if K1 is given and activation energy is given, and third, we can find the value of A. We can find A, which is the frequency factor, which is the number of collisions per second. What will be the units of K? What will be the units of A? A will have the same units as K. K, which is our rate constant, and that depends on the order of reaction also, as you can see in the reaction. So both A and K have the same units. So students, I am stopping at this point, and I will be solving some numericals in my next lecture on this.